Hey folks, the universe is as deadly as it is awesome. The trouble with the infinite vacuum is that nothing escapes her clutches. So take your protein pill and put your helmet on as we approach the event horizon of today's top 5 sci-fi calamity movies you need to see again. Number 5, The Black Hole, 1979. In the distant future, a deep space exploration vessel, the USS Palomino, discovers a massive black hole with an apparent immobile ship positioned just outside its event horizon. To the crew's astonishment, the vessel is identified as the long-lost USS Cygnus, a ship thought to be missing for decades. As the Palomino draws closer, it is pulled into the black hole's gravity, forcing the crew to board the Cygnus for repairs. There they encounter Dr. Hans Reinhardt, the brilliant but obsessive commander of the Cygnus.
Yes, your captain was worried about that too.
Who claims he stayed behind to continue his research and now intends to travel into the black hole itself. The crew of the Palomino becomes increasingly uneasy as they explore the ghostly corridors of the Cygnus. Although Reinhardt insists he's alone, the ship is populated by silent humanoid robots and the intimidating enforcer robot, Maximilian. Suspicion deepens as they discover clues suggesting the original human crew may not have perished in an accident, but rather were transformed, or even killed by Reinhardt. Tension rises when the Palomino crew realizes Reinhardt is dangerously unstable and intends to complete his mission regardless of the cost. As Reinhardt prepares the Cygnus for its journey into the black hole, the Palomino crew attempts to escape and expose the truth. Their efforts are met with resistance from Maximilian and the crew's robotic defenses, leading to a series of deadly confrontations. In the chaos, some crew members are killed, and the rest fight to survive as the Cygnus begins to break apart under the black hole's gravitational forces. Reinhardt's obsession proves fatal when he is pinned beneath debris, left helpless as his ship is destroyed. In the film's surreal and haunting climax, the surviving characters are pulled into the black hole. What follows is a striking visual sequence that blurs the line between science and mysticism. Reinhardt appears to merge with Maximilian in a hellish landscape, suggesting a form of cosmic judgment, while the remaining crew seem to travel through a tunnel of light towards a mysterious new dimension. The black hole ends ambiguously, with the survivors possibly emerging into a new universe, leaving viewers to ponder the ultimate fate of the characters and the nature of what lies beyond the event horizon. As you can see, The Black Hole was an attempt by Disney at a more adult-orientated sci-fi movie, complete with dark and foreboding themes and imagery, which might vouch for the film's average reception at the box office, but she still stands out as an attempt worth watching again. Number 4, Pandorum, 2009. In the distant future, Earth is on the brink of collapse due to overpopulation and dwindling resources. In response, humanity launches the Elysium, a massive interstellar ark carrying 60,000 people in cryogenic sleep, bound for a distant Earth-like planet called Tanis. The film opens with Corporal Bauer awakening alone in a dark, malfunctioning section of the ship with no memory of who he is or what his mission was. Shortly after, Lieutenant Peyton also awakens, similarly disorientated. Suffering from the effects of extended hypersleep, they begin to piece together the situation and realize something has gone terribly wrong aboard the Elysium. As Bauer ventures deeper into the ship to restart the reactor and restore systems, he discovers that the corridors are filled with horrifying mutated humanoid creatures that hunt and kill survivors. These beings appear to be the result of a genetic adaptation gone haywire, possibly triggered by the ship's survival mechanisms or prolonged exposure to unknown substances. Along the way, Bauer encounters other survivors, including a resourceful woman named Nadia and a traumatized farmer named Man, who help him navigate the maze-like ship and battle the monstrous inhabitants. Back on the bridge, Peyton begins experiencing psychological symptoms that suggest a mental disorder known as Pandorum, a form of deep space psychosis marked by paranoia and hallucinations. The line between reality and delusion begins to blur, revealing that Peyton may not be who he claims to be. As Bauer and his group reach the heart of the ship, they discover a shocking truth. The Elysium arrived at its destination centuries ago, but the crew never reawakened properly. The ship has been underwater on the surface of Tanis the entire time, with generations of mutated humans evolving in the darkness below deck. In the film's climax, Bauer is pushed to the edge of sanity as he confronts Peyton's true identity. A final confrontation causes part of the ship to rupture, flooding it with ocean water, and triggering the automatic evacuation of the remaining cryopods. The surviving crew members are jettisoned to the planet's surface, finally completing the mission that has long since gone off course. Pandorum ends on a haunting yet hopeful note. Bauer and Nadia emerge onto the alien world, finally free and ready to begin a new chapter of humanity. Good luck. Number 3, Wing Commander, 1999. In the year 2654, humanity is locked in an interstellar war with a brutal alien race of cat people known as the Kilrathi. When the Kilrathi manage to capture a vital navigation device from a Terran Confederation base, they gain the ability to jump through space and mount a direct assault on Earth.
Give him a broadside, Mr. Gerald! Open fire!
With time running out, the Confederation dispatches a critical message to the Tiger Claw, a lone carrier standing in the Kilrathi's path. The message is entrusted to Lieutenant Christopher Blair, a young but talented pilot with a mysterious pilgrim heritage that grants him an almost instinctual grasp of space navigation. What? Anyway, Blair and his fellow pilot
Todd, Maniac Marshal. At your service, ma'am.
are transferred to the Tiger Claw under the command of Commander Gerald and Captain Sandsky.
You wouldn't be related to Arnold Blair, would you?
He was my father, sir.
He married a pilgrim woman, didn't he?
Yes, sir.
Pilgrims don't think like us.
While Blair tries to prove himself among a skeptical crew wary of his pilgrim bloodline, the Tiger Claw engages in a series of increasingly dangerous skirmishes with Kilrathi forces. Blair's instinct and unconventional tactics begin to earn the respect of his fellow pilots, especially Wing Commander Devereaux, who slowly warms to him despite initial tension. Not to mention the sexual tension. As the Kilrathi fleet draws closer to Earth, the Tiger Claw suffers significant losses. The crew uncovers the Kilrathi's plan to use a stolen navigation computer to bypass Terran defenses and launch a surprise attack. Blair's unique ability as a pilgrim becomes humanity's best hope, as he undertakes a dangerous solo mission through uncharted space to locate and intercept the Kilrathi force before they reach Earth. With the odds stacked against them, Blair must overcome both the enemy and the doubts of those around him. In a climatic battle scene, Blair succeeds in relaying the Kilrathi's coordinates to Earth's defenses and narrowly survives the mission. The Kilrathi fleet is destroyed and the invasion of Earth is averted. Though scarred by loss and war, the surviving members of the Tiger Claw emerge victorious. Wing Commander ends with Blair having earned his place among the crew, proving that heritage doesn't define destiny, and that courage and skill can come from the most unlikely places. Also, unlikely is that this film would reach the same levels of success as the popular 1990s video games, thereby making it a near science fiction movie disaster. Although, for me, it was somewhat of a guilty pleasure. Number 2, Silent Running, 1972. Earth's natural environment has been completely destroyed. What little remains of the planet's forests and wildlife is preserved in gigantic geodesic domes aboard a fleet of space freighters orbiting near Saturn. One of these ships, the Valley Forge, houses several of the last surviving ecosystems, tended by a crew of 4 astronauts. Among them is interstellar tree hugger Freeman Lowell, a dedicated and passionate botanist who believes deeply in the mission to protect and eventually return these forests to Earth. Unlike his apathetic crewmates, Lowell sees these domes as sacred, living relics of his lost world. Lowell's hopes are shattered when the crew receives orders to abandon the preservation mission and jettison the domes into space for destruction, as funding and public interest in the environmental restoration has vanished. Devastated, Lowell defies the order by killing one of his own crewmates. He fakes an incident to cover up his actions and takes control of the ship, piloting it alone beyond Saturn's rings in a desperate bid to save the last forest. As he travels through space, Lowell finds companionship in 3 small, silent maintenance drones, whom he nicknames Huey, Dewey, and later Louie. With their help, he tends to the last forest dome.
Oh, it's pitiful. Pitiful. That's exactly the opposite of what it's supposed to be.
While slowly unraveling under the psychological toll of isolation, guilt, and the weight of his decision. Over time, Lowell forms an emotional bond with the drones, treating them like family as he clings to the hope of preserving some piece of nature. However, he soon realizes the forest is dying. An artificial system alone is not enough to sustain life forever without real sunlight. In the film's poignant conclusion, a rescue ship approaches.
We said we'd send out a search party.
Guess I forgot.
It wasn't easy finding you either, even with our deep space tracking.
And Lowell, knowing his secret will be discovered, makes a final choice. Lowell then destroys the Valley Forge with himself aboard, ensuring the forest's survival at the cost of his own life. And if the dome needed more photosynthesis, it should have steered itself closer to the main character of this next movie. Number 1, Sunshine, 2007. In the mid-21st century, Earth is facing a global extinction event. The sun is dying, and with it, the planet is plunged into a deep freeze. To save humanity, an international team of scientists and astronauts is sent aboard the spaceship Icarus II with a mission to reignite the sun using a massive stellar bomb. This mission follows the mysterious failure of the previous ship, Icarus I. And why would they name these vessels Icarus? Anyway, which vanished without completing its task. As Icarus II nears Mercury's orbit, the crew receives a distress beacon from the long-lost Icarus I, forcing them into a fateful decision that changes everything. The crew decides to alter course and rendezvous with Icarus I in hopes of recovering its payload and doubling their chances of success. However, the maneuver results in a tragic accident during a spacewalk, leading to the death of the ship's captain, Kaneda, and the damage of vital systems. Once aboard the derelict Icarus I, the team discovers signs of madness and destruction, indicating that the original mission went horribly wrong.
When he chooses for us to die, it is not our place to challenge God.
It becomes clear that the psychological and spiritual tone of being so close to the dying sun has had devastating effects. As they attempt to salvage the mission and escape the doomed Icarus I, the crew of Icarus II is stalked by a new and terrifying threat, Pinebacker, the deranged captain of the original ship, who has somehow survived and believes humanity should perish with the dying sun. He sabotages the ship, triggering a harrowing final stretch in which the remaining crew members must confront both external danger and their own mental unraveling. Kappa, burdened with the responsibility of the mission, fights to survive long enough to deliver the bomb into the heart of the sun. In a visually stunning and emotionally intense climax, Kappa manages to detach the payload and descend into the sun's core, sacrificing himself to ensure the bomb's detonation. Back on Earth, a subtle but powerful sign of hope emerges. The sky grows brighter and sunlight returns. It came as a huge shock to me that Danny Boyle directed Sunshine. The immersive effects are stunning. Our dying sun takes center stage as the main character as it punishes the Icarus I and II. This is the first time I've seen Sunshine in countless years, and it still stands tall as a dazzling and great sci-fi adventure. But my only critique is the Pinbacker angle. How could he survive 6 years blasted by the sun at close range? Fun times! And there you have it. Did you survive this list or are you still lost in space? Which one of these movies is your favorite? And which other movies would you have rather seen on this list? Sound off in the comments section below, and before you jettison, please like this video and don't forget to share and subscribe. Hang tight and I will catch you in the next one.